We spent until about 1 in the morning stripping the wallpaper off of the living room, and I think I'd say we've done a good job, but you can't tell. There is still some of the underline, whatever you call it, the brown sort of primer kind of paper underneath. But that's all done actually under the radiator still as well, but the radiator's got to be removed, so we've got to get plumbing to do that, and then I'll just strip it off. Shouldn't take too long. So today, the plan is to finish off that little bit, which shouldn't take more than an hour or so. And then we're going to go into which was an office, it's going to be our library so that we can sound like snobs. And we're going to remove all of this panelling. Hopefully it shouldn't take more than, I don't know, a couple of hours to take all that off. Polystyrene roof, that's got to definitely go. And see, my only concern, I don't think it's founded to be honest, is this. See, I thought originally this was this texture, I don't know if you can sort of see it in the camera there, but I thought it was Artex. And Artex from the 70s to the 90s sometimes had asbestos, or like sprinkles of asbestos on it. I think it helped the bonding or something like that. But I've realised as I've taken this off, this is paper. Does wallpaper of that style, from the 70s I guess, and 80s or whatever it is, have asbestos in it? Because if it does, then I don't really want to be peeling off paper, because even peeling off the paper in there, the amount of dust, but I don't know why we haven't got masks, we need to get some masks, but the amount of dust in the air, so that's the other thing we're going to do is get some masks. But I have got one of the proper masks, so I'm going to wear that today for this room, just in case. I'm also going to use a steamer, so it drenches the stuff. But I'm going to look online first of all, because if it has got asbestos in it, I don't want to touch that stuff. Which is, the irony of that is that the asbestos is obviously fireproof or fire resistant, and yet they've got polystyrene on the roof, so there you go, balances it out. Most of our days have been taken up by either sort of experimenting with things, seeing if things will come off, like polish up and things like that, or contractors come around, because contractors, you end up spending like an hour and a half, depending if it's the glazing companies, they can walk around, it could be like 2 hours sometimes. So all of these days, 10 days so far, have pretty much eaten up, and we've really only spent probably a solid day on doing one room. But hopefully from now on we can start speeding up and getting the rooms all stripped. It's polystyrene, this is proper wood, but we want it gone, and I've realised that it's screwed in. Each one is screwed in with 2 screws, one here, one down here.
A lot of the time it's difficult to locate the screws as they're hidden behind a wood filler. One technique I found super useful is to use a torch. The strong shadows will cause the wood filler to stand out, allowing you to get on with the job of removing them. After trying to remove the 100th screw, something occurred to me.
What is the point of flathead screwdrivers? Flathead screws? What is the point of flathead screw? Because they're a nightmare to get out. They're an absolute nightmare to get out. Especially old ones that have been in there for like 50 years. Because as soon as you start trying to screw them, they just shred, and then the head you can't remove. So they ended up having to sort of like basically snap some of these wooden panels out. And then there's one here that still you can see. Totally shredded the top there, trying to get it out. So I have to just hammer them a little bit and it snaps off. I mean, they still sell them, so there must be a reason why you would use a flathead over a crosshead. Okay, so I've now done the fireplace wood slats, but as you can see there's a cable that ran along the bottom here and goes all the way to, I guess these were just old lights, but it would have been quite nice when I had them. I don't know why I removed them really, but that's obviously what will come out, so I'm going to turn off the power for a sec and cut those wires. Just taken off the this massive wardrobe thing so we can get better access to the actual boards, and that actually nearly killed me because that fell off the top. But look, I found this, and it might be a map like the Goonies.
Some wrapping paper or roll of brown paper?
I don't know.
Where was it? Behind the...
It's in the electric cupboard thing.
Oh.
Have a look. Okay, let's see what it is. Sure, it's really exciting. Oh, actually, it's more exciting than what I thought. Greetings from Brighton. Which is weird, because that's where my last house was. Oh, okay. Got our own little Brighton poster. Well, it wasn't a goodies map to a load of gold, but that's quite a cool little poster. The power's off, and so it's time to cut the cable or take the box off.
After a quick tea break, it was time to remove the wallpaper. I decided if the wallpaper had asbestos in it, I wasn't taking any risks. All was going really well until a small problem that then became a bigger problem, and bigger still.
I mean, I haven't finished either. I think there's more.
Oh shit.
I think it was at this point in time when we realised that things around us were falling apart. Literally.
Unfortunately, some of the walls, the rendering's gone. Mould and damp on the window here, but I very much suspect it's this ivy that's going on the outside. Still a bit loose here as well. Oh, there you go. Axe, look. Oh gosh. How far does it go is the question. Obviously I want to keep as much as I can, but I don't want any loose bits. And that is definitely not good. I can still fit a bit loose. I think this whole brown section is dead in terms of if it's going to come out, it's going to come out. I don't think polyfiller is going to cut it on that. It's going to need to be re-rendered and plastered. So yeah, all fun. So what's going on?
I just took some wallpaper off, and there was a little hole already in the wall, and the little hole's turned into a really big hole, and this is all like, look, that's all.
Oh, yeah, it's got to come down.
Got to come down.
I started to remove all the loose plaster that I've discovered, some of which was solid concrete. At the time I thought this was quite strange, but in later videos you'll discover why. So it's actually been a whole week since we completed it. It doesn't feel like it because they didn't move out until Saturday. It's Wednesday now, the 8th of May, and we completed on the 1st of May.
Yeah.
But they moved out on Saturday, which was like the 5th of May or something like that.
Bonkers.
So it's actually only been 3 days. But how do you think it's going so far?
It's daunting. There's everywhere I look, there's stuff that needs doing, but I've got the vision and I know it's going to be amazing. It's the cost and the amount that needs to be done that's daunting, and also we're kind of a bit stuck because as much as I want to get on and do stuff, I actually can't really do it because things need to be done before that, which we can't do.
Yeah.
Like the rewiring. It's a little bit frustrating. I mean, there are definitely, I've found now jobs that I can definitely get on with. And I think we've done a lot. I'm loving the terracotta floor that we've revealed in the downstairs toilet and in the cellar. I think that's going to look stunning. I love that the island will work in the kitchen, and we're kind of nailing all the designs there. And that we've worked out so that a long droppy light above that window will look amazing, and you know, it kind of, I can really see it coming together. We've obviously got all this wallpaper off. The lounge is a nightmare to strip.
That's why that cat piss.
Yeah, you're sitting on the cat piss spot.
I think the problem is as well, you end up, what I'm finding is kind of like, not a headless chicken, but there's loads of bits you're like, I just want to test that. I want to see, like for example, the parquet flooring. How many loose bits are there? Can we get these parquets? I've spent like about an hour yesterday just looking for the pieces of parquet that will fit, but it turns out that most, and this is like obviously really geeky kind of stuff, but most of them are 115 mil long, these are 140 mil long, and I've only found one on eBay and there was only 30 pieces, and we need about 80 pieces. So I'm trying to source that. That's difficult. You start looking at like measuring the driveway and just thinking, well, how are we going to do that? And then you just keep testing things, like the kitchen. You keep sort of going, well, is that hollow in that stove bit? And then you start measuring it and thinking, well, if we're going to put a range cooker in there. So you're kind of scattered at the moment, but I think we need to focus.
So I focus on stuff, on some stuff, and you focus on stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get more done.
Going forward, we need to just get the downstairs done, ready. The electrician's coming in about 2 weeks. That's the plan. Really, we've got 2 weeks to get all the wallpaper off, haven't we?
Yeah.
The actual taking off the wallpaper is quite quick. It's the little bits that are left that takes the time. But the advantage we got at the moment is we don't have furniture in the house. We don't have all of the dust sheets down, and because the floor needs to be sanded, it doesn't really matter if it gets sticky bits of wallpaper on it.
Yeah.
I always think this when you're doing up houses, it's just like this. It feels like this endless tunnel that never ends, and you can't see the light or anything. You're just constantly doing stuff, and it just seems to be this endless pit of money and time, and nothing's coming out of it. And then suddenly, once the foundation and all the hard work that's done, it suddenly just starts to go dum 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 and just comes together. And the finishing touches are like putting on the paint and putting on the lamps and putting on the lighting.
Picture up on the wall.
Yeah, and it's something
bringing
there.
Furniture in.
Yeah, but this is going to be a long haul. This is, I think, it's so.
But we don't have a long time for the long haul. That's the problem,
No.
because we need to get it to a certain condition to be able to live in it.
Yeah.
So, we need to crack on.
Yeah.
I decided to call on a friend to get this job done, but
Do you want to know the good news or the bad news?
Bad news.
Okay, bad news is. What do we call it, don't we? What's the
There's
bad?
no good news.